Hey. Good evening, everybody. Sorry, I am a little late. I was wrangling the children, making sure my kids had their baths and all of that stuff, getting them settled. Anywho, I hope you all had a wonderful day. I hope you are having a great evening. Let me see where everybody is watching from. By the way, I'm Shantae Charles. Where are you all watching from? So today wasn't too bad weather-wise. Um, Here we were in the 40s and it wasn't too windy, which was pretty good for North Dakota. Pretty good. Pretty good. So I wanted to come on and give some information about why North Dakota is a great place for Black people. I think that more of us should migrate here, should move here. It is a wonderful place. As you can see, I am Black and I live in North Dakota, and North Dakota has been really good to me and my family. It has been a great blessing. I have four children, ages 11, 10, 7, and 4. Had to think about it because literally my kids just had birthdays back to back from the 15th of December up until Tuesday. For the last rolling 6 weeks, there has been a birthday every 2 weeks. But I have four kids. None of them are teenagers yet. I have 18 people in, I'm married also, and about 18 people in my family have moved here to North Dakota, and all of our lives have changed tremendously since relocating here to North Dakota. When I first came to North Dakota, I had no idea that my other family members would move here. I was not planning on them moving here. I didn't even ask anyone to move here. I just started sharing information about the good things about North Dakota and how you could get ahead in North Dakota. And people started coming here. So North Dakota has been really good to us. The number one reason why Black families should move to North Dakota is safety. And safety, if you're a parent, is to me top priority for your children. For me, my kids' safety is everything. But North Dakota is very safe, a very safe place to raise your children. Unfortunately, I saw a story today where a young man in Philadelphia was murdered. He was a star athlete, and some things transpired, and someone um, unalived him, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that crime does not happen here in North Dakota, but it's very rare that you'll hear stories like that. Very rare. Um, it's a good environment to raise your children. My kids can wear whatever to school. They'll never come home and say someone's picking on them because of what they wore to school. That's just not a factor here. Oh, you didn't have on this, or you didn't have the latest that. Kids here, they don't care about that here. It's a simpler way of life. The people here are just plain people, ordinary people. They're not extravagant. When you go in the store, you could be standing next to someone who has oil on their land. They could be a multimillionaire. And unless you really know boots and belts and stuff, you would not know that this person has on an $800 pair of Stetson boots because they're not flashy. People have pickup trucks here. They may have a fully loaded Silverado or something, but to see a lot of fancy cars and stuff like that. We do have some people here that drive Porsches. There was a doctor here that drove a Bentley and things like that, but it's not the norm. It's just ordinary people here. And yes, there are interracial couples here. There are interracial couples here. And there's not I haven't heard of anybody having problems because they're an interracial couple. It's like whatever, do what you want to do, love who you want to love. Now, I'm not saying there's not some ignorant people out here that won't have something ignorant to say, because we know there's ignorant idiot people everywhere you go. You just are never going to get away from that in this life. But it's not a problem. We don't have a lot of racial tension here. You're not going to be targeted because you are black. Now, I'm not saying that you won't have some people that you'll meet that don't have prejudices, because that's just how it is. We all have prejudices that we all have to work on getting away with, getting away from, excuse me, not getting away with, getting away from preconceived notions that we have about people. We all need to work on that and keep reprogramming ourselves to tell ourselves that each individual is the individual. We cannot judge everyone by the sum total of other people just because of the color of their skin. Well, if you want to visit first, there are a variety of places here in North Dakota you can go. Fargo is the biggest place. It's the biggest city in North Dakota. The last I heard, it was like 150,000 people there. There may be a little bit more there now, but Fargo is the biggest city here. Fargo is close to Minnesota. It could be 5 minutes away from Minnesota, depending on where you're going in Minnesota, or it could be 3 hours away if you're going to Minneapolis and to the Mall of America. Mall of America is the biggest mall here in the United States, unless that has recently changed, but I don't think so. Then we have Grand Forks. Grand Forks is really nice. It's really populated. There's a lot of shopping. There's a lot of great restaurants and things to do over there. Bismarck is very nice. You went there, right? Yes, we did go to Grand Forks. Bismarck is very nice. That's an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where I live, depending on where you're going at in Bismarck. You have Minot, which is where I live. Minot, I'm not quite sure how many people are here now. At one point, it was like 49,000 people. It may be up to 60,000 people. Wherever you go in town, sooner or later, you're going to see the same people over and over and over again. And just be nice and kind to everybody, because you're going to see those same people over and over again. And a lot of people know each other here because either they go to church with each other, or they have grown up here and everybody knows everybody. It's a great community here where I live. Minot is not a bad place. The mall can be better. Our mall, you can walk the mall in like 15 minutes, 20 if you take a slow stroll. But Minot is very safe. It's a very safe place. It's a great place to raise your kids. I love it here because my kids can leave their stuff outside for 2, 3 days. But I mean, like bikes, dirt bikes, things of that nature. And you're going to go out there and it's still going to be out there. Nobody's going to steal it. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some raggedy people that may do some things, but it's not the norm. It's just not the norm here. It's not the norm here. And jobs are plentiful, and not just jobs, but there are high paying jobs here. That's another reason why I recommend Black people move to North Dakota. Now, this video isn't just for Black people. So if you're not Black and you're watching, come on in the room and sit and stay a while. You're welcome too. But we have been marginalized, and just other things have happened to us that have kept us behind. And I believe coming here, moving to North Dakota, can really help Black people that may be struggling, or maybe that you're not struggling. You may be just living paycheck to paycheck, and the cost of living where you live is extremely high. And you have to take both of your income, if you're married, your spouse's income, both incomes, to make ends meet. Or if you're single, most of your paycheck is going towards keeping a roof over your head, so much so that you don't have money to even go out to eat if you want to go out to eat every now and then without having to put it on a credit card. So North Dakota there are plenty of good paying jobs here. Now the oil boom is over, but they're still pumping oil here. They're still pumping oil here. My husband works for an oil company. He still works, well, he at one point he worked 26 days on 12-hour shifts and 10 days off. Then he worked 11 days, 3 off. Now he's on 12 days, 2 off. So there's money to be made here. And if you work those kind of hours, it's guaranteed overtime. You're automatically getting overtime. So if you're a young man and you don't have any health issues, you can pass a background check and you can pass a drug test, go work for an oil company. Yes, the hours are long, but if you're 20, 25, early 30s in good shape, hey, you can do it. You can do it, make the money. You don't even have to stay there forever. Make the money, stay 5 to 10 years, or even less if you're going to take the most of your money and invest and do something wise with the money. And then if you don't like it here, leave. Go somewhere else where it's cheaper, but at least you have made the money while you were here. Excuse me. But North Dakota has very good high paying jobs. Even if you don't work for an oil company, if you there's medical jobs here. We are always in need of people that work in the medical industry. Here where I live, I read an article recently that they just approved zoning for a new hospital here. Currently we only have one hospital, which I don't like the fact that you don't have any choices. Now, I've never had bad care at the hospital. When I had one of my kids, one of the doctor that was on call was a complete, but I don't fault the hospital, I fault him. My doctor was on vacation and he literally got back on duty like a few minutes after my son was born. But the doctor who delivered my kid, he was a complete jerk. It wasn't the hospital. It it was him. And he was rude to everyone, even the nurse. He was rude to her. Um, but I don't like the fact that there is not an option here where I live, that if you want another option that you have to travel to Bismarck. Now, Bismarck has more than one hospital. So does Fargo has more than one hospital. You have more options over there. But here where I live, we only have one hospital. They approved zoning for them to build a new hospital. They didn't say when they're going to build it, when they're going to get the permits for it or what have you. But there is one coming. When? Who knows? But we have a great need for jobs in the medical field. There's agriculture jobs here, and I don't mean just picking crops, but I mean like agriculture, various agricultural jobs, driving the trucks, things of that nature. Um, there's food industry jobs here. There is a great need for small businesses here in North Dakota. North Dakota is small business friendly. There's not a lot of red tape to get your business up and running. If you're coming here from another state and you have a cosmetology license, it's not that complicated to get your license transferred over here to North Dakota. Unless things have changed recently, it's not that complicated. But we need, especially for Black people, we need barbers. Now, I know in other places, barbers, stylists, they're like a dime a dozen. It could be like oversaturated, but here there's a great need for people that can do hair that looks like mine, hair like my son's, or what have you. There is a great need, even for people who can do interracial kids' hair, because a lot of times you'll have a couple or a woman who has kids by a Black guy, but she has no idea what to do to that child's hair. And I'm not sure why she didn't ask mama, auntie, or somebody how or to help her out. But that could be a great business to show them how to maintain their children's hair. We need estheticians here because our skin is different. Our skin is melanated. Our pigment is different. Um, the job market here is great. We have a thriving job market here, thriving job market. Even when we were in the recession, which is when I came here, when we were in the recession, North Dakota had the lowest unemployment rate in the country. And North Dakota's unemployment rate is still extremely low, very low, one of the lowest in the nations. So the job market is very good here. And not only can you find a job, because there's places you can get a job, but like how much is the job paying? Are you still going to need food stamps to help put food on the table? Are you going to need Section 8? That's the question. No, you can come here and you can get a job that pays good money and you'll be able to sustain yourself. And the bulk of your money is not going to go towards keeping a roof over your head, unless you're one of those people that you just got to live in something high class and luxury. Like we have some buildings here that are newer that they've put pools in and they've got all the bells and whistles and thrills and frills, and the rent are more than average. It's the more than average cost of rent here. But here where I live, you can still find apartments for under $1,000. And I mean way over $1,000. My last apartment, the apartment we moved out of last before we moved in our house, on the last end, our rent was $895. When we first moved in, I believe it was $825. But when we moved out, the rent was $895. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage, secure building with cameras, and you needed a punch code to get buzzed in or a key fob to get in the building. Now, at the time, I was like, what do we need that for here in North Dakota, a key fob? But hey, security is good no matter where you're at. But for $895, and you can still find some apartments here for $700. And these apartments are not in bad neighborhoods, because where I live at, we don't really have a bad neighborhood. Now, they have a couple trailer parks here in town that can get a little unsavory at times. But to say, oh, you can't go in that part of town or be out of that part of town before dark or get out before nightfall, or if you're a woman, don't go by yourself. We don't have that here. That's absolutely no. You don't have to worry about if you decide to go to Walmart at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. You don't have to be worried about, are you going to get jacked? Are you going to get jacked if you're a woman going by yourself? It does get cold. I'm not going to lie to you. It gets cold. It gets cold. But the thing is, it's the wind. It's the wind. If you've been to Chicago or if you've lived in Chicago before, I always say, they just say Chicago is the windy city because Chicago is better known and it's a bigger place because it gets windy here. It gets windy here, but you just put on your gear. You get a coat, a good thick coat. You get your snow pants if you're gonna be outside. Get your boots, gloves, hat, scarf, bundle up and keep it going. Now, I have a pair of snow pants, but I have not worn them this year because since we moved, they're packed away somewhere. I don't know where they're at. And I used to wear them sometimes, like going to the store, but then you start burning up once you get inside the store because it's hot and you have on all those clothes. So this year I was just like, I don't know where these snow pants are at right now, so forget it. But it does get cold. But I will take dealing with the cold over dealing with struggle or having to use all of my funds to keep a roof over my head. North Dakota is very, very affordable. I cannot stress that enough. It is very affordable. Another reason why I recommend Black people move here is because you can purchase a home here. They're starting to say the American dream of home ownership is dead. We're here in North Dakota. It is alive and well. You can still buy a home here at an affordable price as a first-time home buyer, even with rates at the price that they are at right now. You can still find a home here. My husband and I, we pay $290 for our home. Our home is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage. The garage has heat in it. We have a deck on the back, upstairs, downstairs, a really nice size yard, really good size yard. It has a shed on the side. We paid $290. Is the house brand new? No, it's not. Is it a nice home? Yes. Does it keep the cold out? Yes. Are the windows good? Yes. It's not the dream, but it's a start. And when my husband and I decided we were going to get out of debt, we said we're going to pay off our debt before we buy a home. Because one of the things we decided is once we bought a home, we didn't want to have any consumer debt. We didn't want to have a car note. We didn't want to have extreme credit card bills, all of that stuff. We only wanted to have to pay our mortgage and, of course, bills that you cannot avoid. You're always going to have light bill, water bill, car insurance. You can't get away from that stuff. But we didn't want to have to pay for car notes, high price credit cards, and other debts, consumer debts, and have to pay on a mortgage. We were $30,000 in debt. We got out of debt in 3 years, and we purchased a home. We decided we're going to purchase a home. We didn't listen to how much the bank said we qualified for, because they said we qualified for more than what we purchased our home for. We sat down and figured out how much can we afford to pay every month, and how much can my husband afford to pay with just his paycheck. And we went according to that. So my husband's able to pay our mortgage with just his paycheck. My money we use for other things. But he makes enough money here to be able to do that. And my husband is not a college educated man, but he makes very good money. He makes very good money that if I did not have an income, we're not going to go homeless. Oh, we'll be okay. But I have income, um, and we use my money for other things, and we decided to get our mortgage payment that way. So in the event if he loses his job, my income could take care of the mortgage for the time being. So North Dakota is very affordable. You can buy a house here at a good price. At a good price. Safety. North Dakota is a community-based place. They are big on community. Now, I know a lot of Black people, we are skeptical about living somewhere where the majority is white and we are very few. And that is not what I want to say. It's warranted given our history, the history of our people here in America. It's warranted. If you know your history, if your grandmother has told you stories, or even your mother, depending on her age, it's warranted. It is understandable that we would be reluctant. But here in North Dakota, we don't have racial tension. We are a really community based people. Um, Here where I am, someone started having a Juneteenth celebration. I think it was maybe 5 years ago. They started having a Juneteenth celebration, and the mayor, he came out. He at the time he was a white guy, which the mayor is still white. He came out. He supported the police. They came out. They supported, and other white people came in the community, came out. I mean, a lot of white people. I honestly was surprised by the amount of white people that came out. My mother, she sold T-shirts that had stuff about Juneteenth on it. It had um, silhouettes of African American men, African American women, and I was surprised by the number of white people who bought shirts from her, and the number of white people who bought shirts and actually put the shirts on. I was surprised. So we don't have a lot of racial tension here. Now, am I saying that some people here, you know, no, I'm not saying that there aren't some ignorant people here, because there are ignorant people everywhere. I mean, I used to live in Georgia, and everyone thinks Georgia is so great for black people, and in many ways certain parts of Georgia it is, but we there is still a lot of racial tension in Georgia. There's still a lot of racial tension. There is still a lot of racism in Georgia, a lot of prejudice in Georgia, which you wouldn't think, because they focus so much on Atlanta, the black Mecca. But Georgia has problems. And I used to live in Florida, and that's another story. But we don't have a lot of racial tension here. In fact, when I first came here, I think a year or two after I came here, the neo Nazis tried to take over this little town called Leeds, North Dakota. And the people of the town, which was predominantly white, they band together and they said, hell no, don't come here with that BS. Don't come here with that BS. They asked for people from other cities here in North Dakota to come over and help them, and people did. And they ran the people out of town. One of the guys who was the head, they found something to charge him with to have him arrested, and they ran those people out of town. So there's not a lot of racial tension. You're not going to have to be overly guarded about, is my white neighbor out to get me? Are they going to do something to my kids? You really don't have that to worry about. You really don't have that to worry about.
Can I have some water?
Sure, get that water right there.
This one?
No, that one. So North Dakota is business friendly, small business friendly. There is a great need for. Do you have to do that?
What? Do what?
Crumpling the bottle.
If I'm too thirsty.
Okay. There is a great need for small businesses. Emmanuel, I think he just likes coming in and talking when I'm on live, because it's every day. He's like, I gotta go out there and say something. That's Emmanuel. There's a great need for small businesses. You can come to North Dakota. You can start a restaurant. It will do very well. Excuse me, we do have restaurants here, but there's not a lot of, well, there isn't any fine dining here where I live at all. We did have a restaurant that used to be owned by the actor Josh Duhamel. His parents used to own the place. They don't own it anymore, and I don't know if it's still around or not. But that was the only place that was really like fine dining. We have a couple of country clubs here. One of the country clubs has a restaurant. Um, I know North Dakota needs to. They need to run me a check. They need to run me a check. But I'm really doing it to help people. When I was felt like I was down and out, and was just like sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I had moved with my parents. I was a homeowner in Florida. I thought I was going to lose my home. I moved to my parents' home in Georgia. And for 3 years, I could not get ahead. I was looking for a job. I had a job, but it was like not even having a job at times, because sometimes I barely took home $100, no exaggeration. And I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I wish I had met someone that is doing what I'm doing, that told me of a place that I could go to get a fresh start and for better opportunity. But I didn't. I heard about North Dakota watching the news one day, and long story short, here I am. I found a job, and they relocated me, and I've been here ever since. And I just want to help other people because life isn't always life isn't always great. Life isn't always sunshine. Sometimes it rains, and sometimes we just need someone to give us an umbrella. Oh, excuse me. Sometimes we just need somebody to give us an umbrella, to open a door, or to open a door to tell us, oh, you can come in here to get out of the rain. So I just want to help other people. If you want more information, in depth details about moving to North Dakota, what it's like to live in North Dakota, sign up for the Move to North Dakota Summit. The summit is happening on the summit is happening on February 22nd. It's a virtual summit. It's going to be live on Zoom. There is going to be a panel of different people who have come to North Dakota and have done extremely well. There will be a doctor on the panel. She's going to talk about being Black in medicine here in North Dakota. There's a hospital administrator. She's going to talk about how her life has changed since she came to North Dakota. When she first came to North Dakota, she used to live here in Minot. Then she moved to Stanley, which Stanley is a very small town. Stanley does not even have a McDonald's. Can y'all believe it? Unless they recently got one. But Stanley is like, that's how small Stanley is. And now she lives in Bertall, and Bertall is very small as well. She says she's one of only 3 Black people that live in the town of Bertall, and she was thinking about running for mayor. She sits on the recreation board, the community board, and some other board for the city where she lives. She sits on, I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's how good that little town where she is only one of 3 people, Black people, has been good to her. Um, a retired CEO is going to be on the panel. He is he used to run the homeless coalition here. He came here by way of military. He retired from military and he stayed here. And he retired from the homeless coalition last year, I believe it was. Um, a small business owner. I'm a small business owner, but another small business owner is going to be on the panel. She's going to talk about how her husband and her came here. He just so happens to work for the same company that my husband works for, but she started her business here. She came here from California. She had a cosmetology license. She started her own shop here. She's doing extremely well. She's going to talk about that. And she's also going to talk about her experience of raising her daughter here. She has a preteen. I think her daughter's like 12. So she's going to talk about that. There's going to be a man on. He's going to talk about what it's like being a Black man living here in North Dakota and raising his son here in North Dakota. I'm also there's supposed to be a nurse on as well. I haven't pinned that down. Hopefully, he will actually be on. He's going to talk about his experience being a nurse here. He came here from Louisiana. He went to college here, graduated, of course, and became a nurse. He no longer lives in North Dakota. He moved about a month or so ago, and maybe a month now. He moved over to Minnesota. He hopped over to our neighbor. But prior to that, he was here like, I think, 10 or 11 years. So everyone that will be on the panel is very familiar with North Dakota. It's not people that just came yesterday, it's people who have been here for a while and who have established roots. And North Dakota has been extremely, extremely good to all of us. Extremely good to all of us. Anybody have any other questions? If you know someone who is looking to make a change, if you know someone who needs an opportunity, share this live with them. Send it to them. Tell them, hey, look, check it out. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. Have them check it out. And Maybe they may have a background. They can come here. Now, don't send anybody here that, as my grandmother would say, they don't have no act right in them. Not act right, act right. They don't have no act right in them. We don't want those people. Leave them where they are. But if they had a little trouble in their youth or what have you, they got in some trouble, turn their life around, trying to get on the right path, but they just need a little help with finding and being able to get gainful employment and not minimum wage, but a wage where they can be self sufficient and take care of themselves, send them this video because North Dakota has opportunities for them as well. There is opportunity for people that have a background to make an income, and it's not minimum wage. I don't know anyone here in North Dakota that can pay minimum wage because, as I was always say, they may start the business today, but they're gonna be out of business tomorrow because you cannot get away with paying minimum wage here. It is just not going to happen. Even at fast food, even at fast food, when I first moved here, McDonald's was offering $15 an hour and a sign-in bonus. And so you can imagine what wages are now. Now I don't know exactly what the wages are here at McDonald's these days, but I do know where I used to live at, they built a new McDonald's in that area. And they had a sign outside saying that they were offering a sign-in bonus for people to come work there. They didn't have the wage up on the little placard like they used to, but come on, North Dakota. Come on to North Dakota. Get your ticket to the Move to North Dakota Summit, Tanya. Is it Tanya or Tanya? Get your ticket to the Move to North Dakota Summit. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss the Move to North Dakota Summit. It is live. There's a chance we'll have Q&A, so there will be a chance to ask your questions, whatever questions that you may have. Get your ticket. You can go to bit.ly/, move to North Dakota Summit. The link is in the description box for you to get your ticket. But if you are 100% serious about moving to North Dakota, upgrade your ticket to the VIP ticket, because when you upgrade to the VIP ticket, you're going to get the Move to North Dakota toolkit. You're going to get the VIP. Sure. Let me see your face. Why your eye look like something? Turn that way. Oh, it must have been a light. Sorry about that. When you upgrade your ticket to the VIP, you're going to get the Move to North Dakota toolkit. The Move to North Dakota toolkit is going to be your resource guide. It is going to have resources for Minot, Grand Forks, Fargo, Bismarck, Dickinson, and Williston, excuse me. The resources will include where to look for housing. It will have information about the daycares in town. It will have information on the housing authority, because I know that some people, you may be on Section 8. No judgment here. It's better than being homeless under the bridge with Bob. You may be on Section 8 and you may need to or want to transfer your Section 8 voucher here. So there's going to be information on that. There is going to be a winter survival guide. Now, don't let the name scare you. It just means it's going to share information on what you need to have in the wintertime in your car in the event if you break down, which truthfully, if you live anywhere where it snows and you're going to be traveling from place to place, you should have this in your car anyway, no matter where you live. So it's going to have that. You'll get access to a private Facebook group, because everyone who gets the VIP ticket, you'll get access to a private Facebook group where other people who are planning on moving to North Dakota will be in that group, and you can make some connections before you even get here. Perhaps you'll meet someone who is planning to move to the same city that you are planning to move to. So you'll get access to that. And I'm going to have a live meet and greet for the people that purchase the VIP ticket. We'll have a live meet and greet after the summit so people can actually make some connections on a live Zoom and get to know each other a little bit better. So that way, if you do move here, you'll already know or have met some other people that are moving here. That way, you get to form a little sense of community, especially if you're coming here single or if you're coming here as a single parent. You'll already have some connections here, which is very good. I didn't have that when I came here. It was just me and my boyfriend, now my husband. We didn't know a soul. So the VIP toolkit will have that. You'll get a customizable move plan, which will give you a budget for how to budget to move here. It'll have information on the utility companies to contact in the different cities. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. The best part about getting the VIP tool kit, the best part, the main reason why you want to upgrade your ticket to VIP is because it is going to have a up-to-date listing of the jobs available in those different areas, in those different cities that I mentioned. Now, when you purchase your VIP ticket, you are not going to get the download of the VIP toolkit immediately. Why? Because I want to make sure that you're going to have the most up-to-date listing of jobs. So the toolkit will become available after the summit. It's not going to be before, again, because I want to make sure that the jobs that are listed are the most up-to-date jobs. So that's what you're going to get if you're going to come to the summit and upgrade to the VIP. Now, if you purchase your VIP ticket before Saturday, it is 20% off. The tickets are normally $37, but if you purchase before Saturday, it's 20% off. It's probably the best $29.60 you'll spend this year. Any other questions? Tanya, are you a caregiver? Do I see your name says Tanya Brooks, self-care and support for caregivers. Are you a caregiver? I'm curious. Moved to Fargo, North Dakota back in 2014, and today my home is almost paid off. My retirement came in, and I do extra work, and I'm living. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, tell them. Let me take my glasses off. They need cleaning. Tell him, Jerry. Tell him. Came here. He says he came here in 2014. Today his house is almost paid off. His retirement came in and he do extra work. And he's living the American dream. I'm telling you, here in North Dakota, the American dream is alive and well. I mean, where could you go as an average, ordinary person? And I don't mean ordinary as like in a bad sense. I mean, somebody ordinary. You weren't born into a rich family. Your mom and daddy didn't give you a trust fund. You had to work and get it out the mud, as they say. Where can the average person go, purchase a home, and have it almost paid off in 10 years? I mean, it's doable in some places, but where can that really be done here in America? Where can that really be done? And get a decent house. I mean, a decent house. I mean, where in America could my husband and I purchase a home and be able to pay the mortgage with just one income? Where? Not many places. There is not many places. Most places, you need two incomes just to pay the rent. And then you're still maybe struggling. But here in North Dakota, you're not going to be scratching and surviving. You're not, unless you're just, you know, or you may come and it may take you to get your bearings, get a job, and to get on your feet. But here is where you can get on your feet. It can be done. It can be done. Thank you, Jerry, for leaving your comment. I really appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions, anything they want to ask? Jerry says, have a $70,000 truck, 2025 truck, and a used 2001 Ram truck as a backup truck. Plus, I'm having $50,000 solar generator added to my house, and I've had a new sewer system installed and a new roof replaced. My income is $10,000 a month. You better tell them, Jerry. You better tell them that I'm not lying. North Dakota is where the money resides. There was a saying or a commercial that came on, I think maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and the man comes out and he says, where the money resides, where the money resides. Tell them North Dakota is where the money resides. I mean, when I started my non-medical in-home care agency, I was making $12 an hour. $12 an hour. Now, I don't have a nursing degree. I like to say I'm a three-time college dropout. I'm a three-time college dropout. I don't have a nursing degree. And I started a non-medical in-home care agency. I later found out I didn't even need experience as a CNA here in the state of North Dakota. But I started my agency, hired 15 people, and went from $12 to over six figures in less than 12 months. Where else can that be done here in America? Where else? Where else? Not many places. Oh, okay. You were a caregiver for your mom. Okay. And see the money you made here, Jerry, that allowed you to have some money to invest. Come on, come on. Tanya, I'm telling you, come to the North Dakota Summit. You won't regret it because there's going to be information about being a caregiver here and how the state will pay you to be a caregiver here. The state of North Dakota will pay you to be a caregiver here, and you do not have to start an agency. Now, I started an agency because I could only see so many people in a day as one person, and so that I could make money in my sleep while I was asleep, or while I was at my brother's wedding in Mexico, or my kid's doctor's appointment, or whatever the hell case may be. I was still making money while someone else was doing the work. But the state of North Dakota will pay you to be a caregiver, and you do not have to be an agency owner. So get your ticket to the North Dakota Summit if you haven't already. I'm telling you, it's going to be the best $29.60 you will spend this year. Yep, life is good in North Dakota. Life is good. Life is good. Is it cold here? Yes. But you can sleep easy at night knowing that all your bills are paid, knowing that, hey, if you came here and you were on the struggle bus, that you'll be able to get off the struggle bus, that maybe you came here on Section 8. I didn't come on Section 8, but I'm just saying, if you do, if you choose to get yourself together and become self-sufficient, North Dakota is the place it can happen. It's the place it can happen. I read that they're trying to do away with property tax here. So I don't know if that will go through all the way or not, but I heard they are trying to do away with property tax here. And where I live, this is how you know North Dakota has money. This is how you know how Dakota has money. They just built a 200, yes, you heard me right, a $200 million high school here. A $200 million high school here. So there is money here in North Dakota. There's money to be made, money to be made. And you don't have to be in oil to make some money. You can be in agriculture, you can be in tech, you can be in medical, you can come here start a business. There's a lot of things you can do here and get some of the money that they have here. So I hope this is helping somebody. I hope to see you guys at the Move to North Dakota Summit. Again, it is on February 22nd. It is virtual. It will be via Zoom. You can get your tickets. The link is down in the description box. If you don't want to wait until the virtual summit and you want to ask me some questions, you can look in the description box. There's a link where you can set up a call with me, a one-on-one consultation. Hey, B Hughes. Hey, good evening. Good evening. Okay, you're a medical biller. Okay, okay, good, good. Yes, North Dakota is a great secret, but I figure spread the love, spread the love, help some people out, help some people out. And I believe that the people who are watching my channel and are tuning in, I believe you all are sincere people and you want to change, and you're people that want to come here with good intentions. You're not bad apples that are going to come and ruin a good thing. Yes, moving definitely changed my life. I like to say North Dakota didn't just change my address, it changed my life completely. Completely changed my life. I definitely probably would not have 4 kids if I was not here in North Dakota. If I was still in Georgia, broke, busted, and disgusted, never would have happened. I'm not sure what the oh, okay. Um, so I'm gonna be back on live tomorrow. Put that ice cream back. I see you. Sorry, guys. My 4-year-old, he thinks I'm not watching him. He's sneaking ice cream out of the refrigerator. Yes, it is a good second chance date. It is very good. Very good. Um, to be transparent and honest, my older brother, he has some issues because he was hard headed. He didn't listen to our parents, fell in with the wrong people, made some bad choices, and he lived in Maryland. He could not get a job and what have you. He came out here, found a job, and not just any job, not a minimum wage job, a job where he could be self sufficient, a job where he could be self sufficient. All right, able to pay off the debt in 1 year. In 1 year, my sister-in-law is a OBGYN, and I don't know exactly what she gets paid. I don't know. It's none of my business, but I know that she gets paid way more than she would have gotten paid anywhere else. She's been here for some years now, but she came here right after her residency program was over, and the price was right. They paid her way more than anywhere else was going to pay her. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to inspire. I'm here to inspire. So listen, you guys, I gotta go. My 4-year-old is getting antsy. I'm gonna be back on tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am on in the morning. I have a series called You Got This. It's a series for inspiration and motivation. So if you need some inspiration and motivation, click your notification button so that you'll be notified when I go live in the morning, and come on and get your daily dose of inspiration and motivation. Until next time, thank you guys for rocking with me. Be blessed and a prosperous future to you.